I made it through another year with the public school system. Let's talk about it. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. In today's video, we're going to be talking about, I'm going to give you a dream job update. So for those of you who are new here, in January of 2022, I left what I would have considered my favorite job to work for the public school system because I was convinced that doing so would be a dream. I have always been convinced that working for the public school system or working with kids in schools would be the job for me. I always thought it would be a dream job. And I guess when I think of dream job, I think of, and understand when I first started thinking of this as a dream gig, I was like early 20s, basically a kid. So in my head, I was thinking having summers off and breaks off and things like that would be a dream gig. And I was thinking the hours, 7 to 3, 7:30 to 3:30, whatever, would be a dream gig. Oftentimes with these types of jobs, there's no on-call requirement. So I was thinking that would be a dream gig. And you got to understand, I'm a social worker through and through. I have a bachelor's of social work and a master's of social work. And as a social worker through and through, and as a person who has only had experience in working with children with struggles, social, emotional, and behavioral struggles, I really thought the school system would be the gig for me. I was swiftly mistaken. I knew that first year that it was probably not going to be my dream job. Maybe a decent job, a good job, or whatever, but I definitely knew it wouldn't be a dream job. And I've learned, I don't know that a dream job exists for me. I guess one that is pays a decent salary, and which my job pays great, but I guess one that pays a decent salary, and one where I'm not chronically perplexed at why the system works the way that the system works. I would say that would probably be my dream job. So for all intents and purposes, you might say my previous job was a dream job. In fact, somebody there is always asking me to come back on the regular. And so I continue to tell them, don't hold their breath, but I don't know, it could be a possibility. It's not a strong possibility by any means, but you might consider that to have been a dream job because I like it there. I made a lot of friends there. I grew as a clinician there. I mean, you might have considered that to be the end all be all, but I had to, I don't know what, I had to go see what this kind of job would be like. Again, I always thought of it as a dream job. So I had to, and I thought, let me go now while, before I'm in too deep at my previous job. Cause I don't know, let's say I was there until 40 or 45, I'd probably just settle in to that job for another however many years until I retire. So I was like, let me go now while I'm young and I have the ability to kind of be chaotic, if you will, even though switching jobs is not chaotic, but I am young and chaotic. So I was just thinking, let me go see what's what. While I just feel the urge to do so. This job has opened up and the whole process was going smoothly. So I'm thinking, this is probably the job for me. And I do believe that. I wholeheartedly believe I needed to go see what you ever just needed to get something out your system? Bungee jumping, people do that. Like some chaotic types of things to get it out of their systems. Well, I've never really done a bunch of stuff. I've never really gotten a bunch out of my system. I've not needed to get a bunch out of my system, but that was one thing I had to go look and see. So I feel as though I came, I saw, and I've conquered. That's pretty much that on that. So just throwing it back to my first year, I kind of started at the end of first semester. So I was there the whole second semester. That was very rocky because not only was it very confusing, and you'll have to watch my previous videos to get, because I don't want to share everything in this video. That's pointless because I've already shared it. But the first semester was a little rocky because I was new and I had so many students on my caseload. Nobody seemed to care about this. It was an irrational amount. I had more than double of what my coworkers had. So I'm like, what are we gonna do about, this is not normal. So anyway, I came back for another year because I'm like, let me see if starting at the beginning of the school year will make a difference. It did. It was still a little interesting. I had a decent amount of kids. I think when I first started, that first year, even though it was at the end of the school year, I had like 2 or 3 supervisor changes. And then in last year, my second year, I had maybe another 2 supervisor changes. In this school year, I have had the same supervisor. Now I need you to understand, my supervisor, they don't check on me, and I don't call, I don't email, call, and like message them for real. It's just how it's set up. I think that they think that because we're all licensed clinicians and we know how to do our jobs as far as the skills that we have obtained to work with students and kids and people who are struggling, I think they kind of just leave us out there to do our own thing, which is beautiful on the one hand, but when you're starting out a job and no one's giving you any direction, it's a little weird. So I will say, I've kind of found my own way, because that's what you're forced to do. So while my supervisor doesn't check on me and I don't email, call her regularly or whatever, I do feel like it's been great having some consistency with the same supervisor. Now, one of the reasons that, like, one of the holdups for this job, I guess for me, is that I feel like lots could be changed, but there are so many like budget restrictions, and there's so many this and that. Like they couldn't even pay for me to go to my most recent training due to budget restrictions, or the training that they typically send us to, which is for school behavioral and mental health. So I didn't go because I'm just gonna pick better trainings to go to, ones that are applicable to me even as a clinician who doesn't work for the school system. There are so many other factors that kind of make up why things are the way that they are, but it's just the system in and of itself that I don't love. And so I'm realizing that obviously my next job, there may be a system there that I don't love. And at previous jobs, there may have been systems that I don't love. But to be honest with you, when I don't feel like, I feel like on a macro level, when I feel like on a macro level, the clients that because I go really hard for my clients, if they're not being given the tools and the resources from a holistic view, because counseling is one thing, but folks need more than counseling in a lot of ways and in a lot of cases, especially students in the public school system. So when it's not like a well-rounded approach, it kind of gives me the ick, and I just can't be bothered. So where I go from here is I've signed my contract for the next school year, but I've also applied for like 10 jobs in the past several weeks. So we'll see. I do take my clinical exam next month. I'm basically, I guess I'm just giving the update to share that I don't feel any differently. And this may be the last update, because I feel like I do these maybe now every few months, every 6 months or something. So they're few and far between, but I just feel like I should give an update that I did make it through my 3rd school year. I did sign a contract for my 4th school year, which is wild, but I have a plug at this other job who's pulling strings and trying to get me hired and won't leave me alone. I'm one of those people who I realize folks want me to move jobs with them, and they want me to come back to work with them, and they like, I'm just like, let me be, okay? I know I'm a great worker, but let me be. I got somebody working on the back end, I guess, trying to pull strings for me that I haven't asked them to pull. So if a job falls in my lap at said facility, then I'm definitely going to peace out and take the job, because sometimes folks just give you an offer that you can't refuse. But I'm just here to report that I made it through my 3rd school year, and it was significantly better than previous school years. And honestly, it was actually pretty okay. I feel like I definitely have times, like I said in previous videos, I don't have red flags at this job. I had a red flag at a job before, and I quit it expeditiously because I feel like my license was on the line. It was so sketchy. I don't have those at this job. I've just had yellow flags, and things that are like real debatable for me and like a little weird for me, but nothing, no red flag, nothing too crazy. So anyway, that's my experience. I just wanted to share. I made it through a 3rd school year, technically, if nothing falls in my lap, over my short summer, because we have a short summer this year, and last year we had a short summer. Then I will be returning for my 4th year with the public school system, but I still feel the same way. I just feel like I should put that out there. If you want my honest opinion is that while things have been much better as far as more consistent and stuff like that, it's still, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, am I gonna be this honest? I'm pretty honest, but sometimes I can't be as honest as I want. But there is, let's say there's one reason, we'll call it a reason, one reason that really grinds my gears when it comes to this gig. And other people may be able to read between the lines. So we'll just say it's one reason, and it just really grinds my gears, like severely grinds my gears. Like if I didn't return, it would be because of that one reason. It's not, I can't say though, it's a red flag, because if that reason didn't exist, which it could easily not exist, it's something that could be fixed if people actually worked to fix it. I think that my students would severely benefit from that fix, and I feel like they would be thriving, and I wouldn't have to be working so hard to help them, because I feel like that if that were to change, it would naturally just help them. So we'll leave it at that. But yeah, if I had to do an exit interview to talk about why I'm chucking up the deuces at any point, it's going to be because of that particular reason. But again, is one that is in-house and could be changed pretty quickly, but nobody seems to think that people know that it needs to be changed, but they won't do it. And it's very weird for me. Like stuff like that is weird, because it's kind of like, what, like I know this is a system and there's so many factors that go into things. There's budget restrictions and all this and that and the third, but I'm like, this is actually something that's quite an easy fix. But because the system is so large, it's very hard to kind of pinpoint those little micro issues from maybe an administrative standpoint. While it's not a micro issue by any means, it's a huge issue. It's really a macro issue. It is kind of, I think, viewed as a micro issue, so it's ignored. But I'm not a fan at all. Very icky, but not as icky as that other job, that when they had the icks and I had to quit. It wasn't that icky, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's my experience. That's my story. I'm still here, and I've had a great school year. Pretty, like, for all intents and purposes, great compared to the previous school year and the one before that. The first one, on a scale of 10, I would have rated it probably a 1, only because I liked my coworker and we've become friends, and so we were the only thing kind of keeping each other sane that first semester or the first school year. And then last school year I'd probably rate it like a 3.5, and then this school year I would say honestly probably like a 6 or a 7. I don't think I'll ever get to 10. That's unrealistic. Maybe you will. I don't think that will be the case for me in any job. I don't know. My last job was pretty close, so maybe that would have, I always say, like I would tell my supervisor that I'm very honest. I don't know what people think, but if you ask me a question, I'm going to answer it honestly. I don't know what to tell people. I honor myself and other people by being honest. If you want me to lie, then we can do that. But like, I don't know what people want from me, so I just tell the truth. So I told my supervisor, I told her that for years, just on like a joking kind of thing, because we're friends. I would say, like, if this job paid more, which it won't, because they're restricted in what they can pay, I feel. But I always said, if this job paid more, like consistently more, I'd stay here forever. Truly, loved it. So you might be wondering why I don't go back to that job. But honestly, it's very far away. It's very far away, but I don't know. I keep telling them now. I'm like, y'all, for once in my life, well, I'm driving, like I get way more money at this job, first of all, like all in all, my total compensation package pales, that other job pales in comparison. I could go work a job I love, but I have to travel very far, like super far. My commute is hella long, there and back. And then I'm gonna get technically like a decrease in pay in ways, because the public school system's retirement plans, or this one that I'm a part of, is great and the other one is not. So like I'd take an L in that regard. So, I don't know. I'm not here to give career advice. I'm just telling you my story, but I'm done talking now. I just wanted to share that I'm here. I signed another contract, but also if duty calls, I'm a pick up. If the money calls, I'm just kidding. But that's it. So tell me about your school experience down in the comments. If you're a teacher, why are you watching this video? Like, are you here as a teacher or as a social worker or whatever? Let me know down in the comment section, because I like talking about these things. It's very fun. So anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. If you liked it, give this video a like, subscribe if you're new and if you're liking what you're seeing, and I will catch you guys right back here in a few days in a brand new video. Bye guys.